How much blame should Ryan Poles get for the current state of the Chicago Bears? I think my answer is probably going to surprise some people. Me and C-Dub are going to break it all down and more. But first, we got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We got C-Dub and myself, Haize, in the building. I'm stepping in for the short one himself, Bobby. He's out. He went and got that leg lengthening surgery, so he may be out for a little while now. Bobby's out celebrating his birthday. Shout out to Bobby, man, on his born day and all that, man. Hopefully Bobby's having a great time out in Chicago. But C-Dub, man, we're going to start this off. We're going to get into voicemails. We got 3 voicemails we're going to play today. But we're going to start the conversation off with this topic, man. There's been a lot of talk around where the Bears are. We know that Matt Eberflus, even came out yesterday that he could have another year on his contract that we expected, and maybe he's not going anywhere. Then, of course, Shane Waldron, that hiring, Caleb Williams, the offensive line. When you look at the Bears right now, I know that the defense is in an overall good spot, but how much blame do you feel Ryan Poles deserves for the state of the Bears right now?
First off, we need to give Ryan Poles his just due of what he did so far in trying to build this team. But also, he must get the blame as well for him ignoring certain pieces of this team, most notably the offensive line. He has made some type of moves for the offensive line. He got a couple pieces, but let's look at this year. We can go revisionist history a little bit. I know everybody probably like Roma Dunze, but it could better be could have been better if he got an offensive line. If you think back on it, if he would have got a offensive lineman. I just think that the attention to the offensive line is probably the only thing I'm really kind of upset at Ryan Poles at. I said this in the beginning of the season. I said this in the beginning of the off season. I'm not trying to take credit for it because I was happy with the team when we started the season, but it is just obvious that we need attention to this offensive line, and I think he deserves all of the blame for not building the requisite pieces to be successful.
And that's much where I am as well, C-Dub. It just comes down to a simple fact for me. I'm going to make it real simple and straightforward. Ryan Poles is the orchestrator of this team. He's the architect of this team, which means that everything about this team falls on him. The only thing that Ryan Poles is not responsible for is if Ryan Poles keeps his job. That goes to Kevin Warren. Everything else is up to Ryan Poles, the coaching staff, the coaches, even down to the position coaches. Yes, he allowed Matt Eberflus to make the decision to build his staff, but at the same time, Ryan Poles, you got just like we judge Eberflus say, hey, the defense is great, but you're not a defensive coordinator. Ryan Poles' hands needs to be in everything. And if Matt Eberflus was making decisions and these end up not being the right decisions, yeah, Eberflus is going to get part of the blame, but so are you. And I'm not even necessarily upset at the drafting of Roma Dunze per se. The problem that I have within this one is the fact that you drafted him. Why did you trade for Keenan Allen if you knew you were going to go after a wide receiver in the first round with your second first-round pick? You could have kept that. And you could have drafted an offensive lineman in the 4th round, because what it's been so far is Keenan Allen has been a goddamn luxury, a luxury that we haven't even really been able to take advantage of, we being 100% honest. And then when you look at some of the offensive linemen, both guards and tackles that went in the 4th round of this draft, they're better than a lot of people that we have.
Yes. What about our guy, Karan? He hasn't he's been injured off and on all season.
The first time he got in the game and played meaningful snaps, he's been hurt. He's been hurt since.
Let me ask you this question, Drip. Do you think they overdid it? This is kind of my thought, that they tried. When you say they got Keenan Allen, they didn't need to get Keenan Allen because they were going to draft wrong. Did you think they tried to overwoo Caleb Williams? because I don't think it was necessary because you had the number one draft pick. You did not have to overwoo him and just show him three names in Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Roma Dunze.
I don't, well, they didn't have to woo Caleb Williams at all. They had to put
That's
him in
what
the
I'm
right
saying.
situation as far as getting him weapons. And I think that if you got DJ Moore and you got Rome Odunze, that's already better. And let's not forget, you Cole Kmet, and you already had Gerald Everett, and you got DeAndre Swift, who is a receiving running back. So you had enough weapons that would have already set you on a path to have the most weapons by any number one drafted quarterback probably ever. And so I understood it at the time. I still understand it. You want to get a veteran piece. Keenan Allen's theoretically that piece that could take the top off the defense. You don't know exactly what Rome Odunze is going to be, so you want something that's kind of a surefire thing there. But in hindsight, and this is the part of GMing that you have to be able to do, you got to be able to survey the present and the future. I feel like going after Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze was too much of just living in the present and ignoring something that's been a glaring hole since before. We're talking about since Mitch Trubinsky. The
Yes.
offensive line has been a problem for the last decade.
Yes, absolutely. We sacked Mitchell Trubisky out of a quarterback position here. I think we sacked Justin Fields out of the position here. And look at Caleb Williams now, man. The kid can't even step back can't even do a three-step drop without having a defender in his face. So, man, we need to pay attention to this offensive line. I'm not at the mode where I'm like, fire Ryan Poles or nothing, because I think he's done more good than bad. But come on, you gotta listen to the red flags, Ryan Poles. And I'm sure he's gonna be paying most attention to the offensive line this offseason. He just has to. He just got to.
Yeah, there's no excuses. Now, he's part of the problem, but he has a chance to be part of the solution, meaning you got this offseason to correct it. We don't want to hear no 1 year plan. I don't want to hear no 2 year plan. You got the 6 months of this offseason to fix this offensive line. That better than what if we don't go into the 2025 season looking at this offensive line and be like, hey, Pros did his work to improve this offensive line. It's a failure of an offseason. It's a fucking failure of an offseason.
Absolutely. This has been the same thing. It's like we've seen this before. You know what I'm saying? For the last 3 quarterbacks we had in rotation over here.
Bro,
so we got to change.
I think the last time we had a above average offensive line, I don't think I had any kids yet. My oldest is 18.
What's the guy who get the old guy up in a CHGO? What's his name?
Olin Kreutz.
Yeah, that's the last time we had a good offensive line when Olin Kreutz played, bro.
So, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I got a whole adult child right now. And I think the last time I could say that the Bears had a really, really damn good offensive line that was above average literally was before my son was born.
That's a shame, man. He just gonna grow up and just say, man, we've been trash offensive line my whole life.
Bro,
that's crazy.
Hey, listen, he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan right now. I can't even blame him.
See, that's what happens right there.
What happens when you have a franchise that's inept? I'm a 4th generation Bears fan, and my son is a Chiefs fan.
Come on, man. I see Chicago kids, my boss's son. I come and talk to him about the Chicago Bears. He's like, man, the Chicago Bears suck. I'm like, I can't even cuss the shorty out. I can't cuss him out. He's right, and he's 7.
That's crazy, bro. Crazy. But yeah, so Ryan Poles needs to be part of the solution here, and he has his chance to be.
Yes.
If not, then listen, I'm not at the point yet where a lot of Bears fans are saying that Ryan Poles' seat needs to be hot. I'm not there yet. I think that a lot of people are looking at much like Ryan Poles, they're looking at the now and forgetting the state of where this franchise was. Ryan Poles has done a good job of taking us out of that with the defense, but now, like, you've done a good job of changing the overall the culture here. You've done a good job of changing the defense and turning that around. That was on the slide, but now you're judged by this. Wins. Everything is about winning. All the feel-good stories, the Jaquan Briskers, the Kyler Gordon, having those guys, Javon Dexter having a great season, all that shit sounds great. But if we're not winning football games, that all doesn't mean shit at this point now.
Absolutely.
This is now your 3rd rebuilding season. You don't go 4th. The 4th needs to be a competing season.
Absolutely. And just not, even if you do this, just fire the coach, Matt Eberflus. That's not enough. Even if you do that. I need to see some work on this offensive line. I don't care if you fire him or not. Me,
Well, he
that's just
doesn't
my
need to be
opinion.
fired. That's why I say people who think Poles needs to be fired. Oh, you're talking about Eberflus. My bad.
Yeah. If
Flus gotta go.
Eberflus, it don't matter if you do it or not. That's your decision.
Wait, hold
Number one
on. You
is
see that?
I see you
See
flexing.
the
That's why
drip?
I ain't even
Hold on.
looking. I
Oh,
ain't even
you
looking.
see the drip? You see the drip? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I ain't even look. He got the glasses to match. He think I ain't see the glasses neither. But look. I don't care about what you do with the coach. Handle that offensive line. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm looking at for this offseason. That's
That's
it.
a fact. That's a fact. All right, man. We got 3 voicemails we're gonna get into today, man. It is a mailbag episode. We're gonna get into the first one. This one's from Marifa Asai. He's setting the tone. Shout out to Marifa Asai.
Bobby, C-Dub, Haize, them Cognac boys. What's happening, fellas? It's your man, Marifa Asai, black yet again, man. Listen, man, we all know that Ryan Poles need to get rid of Eberflus and Shane Waldron and get their ass up out of here because they not the right coaches to coach Caleb Williams and get the best out of the quarterback that they selected. We all know that. The fans know it. The media know it. But do polls know it? That's the question. Do polls feel the same way? I doubt it. Cause he married Flus. So he gonna stay married to Flus for better or for worse and to death do them part. Okay? Or until Kevin Warren do their ass part. Now, one of the two things gonna happen. Now, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna talk about that no more. Look here, we got a game coming up, man. The season ain't over yet. We gotta play a game that we are possibly the last game we gonna ever be favored to win. Okay? Now, if we can't beat the Patriots, which is the sorriest team in the league, right now they got the number 1 draft pick. If we can't beat their ass, then we need to be kicked in our ass. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you my 3 keys to victory. Before we get started, 3 keys. Number 1, Shane Waldron, he got to call a quicker plays for Caleb. Caleb needs to see some wide receiver quick slant and some 5-yard passes to the tight end and the running backs. Keep the chains moving. All right? Holcomb got to get the ball. Number 2, Caleb needs to stop trying to go after the deep ball all the goddamn time. Take the check down and what the defense give you. I know the offensive line is trash, and you're running for your goddamn life all the time because the line can't block for 2.5 seconds. I know it, but you got to get that ball out quick. Set your feet, arm down, and throw a good ball. Okay, number 3, defense got to stop that run. The Bears be getting their cash from all year long. The rushing that Stevenson over there, we got to stop his ass in the rushing yard. Then we can get after that quarterback. Stop him. That's how we going to win. And we going to win good. All right? I'm going to get up out of here. Got a place to go. Got peace to see. But you know what I'm going to say before I leave? It's Chicago up and bad out, baby. FTB. Let's
Marifa Asai needs to take a chair. Like, bro, what does he put in his coffee is the biggest question there. And so, one of the thing. Listen, Marifa Asai really don't even be asking questions, and he really just want to hang out, which is fine. We're gonna work on that for you. But do you think that Ryan Poles is as tied to the future of Matt Eberflus as what Marifa Asai laid out here? He mentioned that they're married to each other. Do you think their futures are that tied together? I personally don't. What do you think?
I actually don't. I don't think they tied with each other. I think it's some excellent football coaches that are going to be available during the off season, and I don't think he want to tie his career with Matt Eberflus, especially with the record he's presented. I just wanted to touch into moving Shane Waldron. I want to break the cycle. For the last 3 quarterbacks, they've had a different offensive coordinator the second year that has not worked out for us. Let's slow our roll with trying to get rid of Shane Waldron and do the same thing we've done with the last two young quarterbacks. It has not worked out. I think mostly the problem is the offensive line. We get that offensive line fixed, and it will be better results. The rest of this stuff I agree with, like the pace with the quick pass and taking the check downs and the run defense. I agree with that, among other things.
I agree with the check down part for sure, especially as you're building your confidence and building your accuracy. Like it's much like in basketball where you're like, hey, let get some easy shots at the rim first. Let the 3-pointers start coming to you. Right. That's what it is.
100%.
And so, and I disagree with Chris Evans here as well. He says if he's not tied to the hip, Flus should be gone. No, being tied to and married to are very different. I think that Ryan Poles Bears are literally tied to Matt Eberflus because there's a contract. That's it. And most of even what we heard in the last day or so when we hear about Matt Eberflus potentially staying on and the decisions being made, it sounds like it's more contract and money based. Now, I'm not saying that that's the right decision. Not saying that at the end of the day, but I think that that's kind of more a money decision, which could still bite you in your ass. But ultimately, like, I think I'm not worried as much about you as changing the history of what's happened here. Because I look at it like this. I'm not necessarily saying fire Shane Waldron either. You may want to give him another year of continuity, see what's going to happen. But I don't care about let's change what's happened here to hold on to a coach that ain't working. The thing, a part of it that I want to change is go out and get the right motherfuckers. That way you ain't got to worry about firing them every 3 years. That's the part that I'm worried about. Firing somebody who's not doing the job or living up to the expectation, that's never a problem. I don't give a damn if the cycle has happened 15 times. You fire people that aren't working. The bigger question I have here is why do we keep hiring people that don't fucking work? What is the thing here? Is it the Bears? Is it what are we doing to where we've gone through 3 head coaches in the last 5-6 years, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what good franchises do, right? And so if we move on to yet another head coach or offensive coordinator or whatever it is, get it right. That way we're not having the same kind of the last thing that I want to do, let's say we hire Ben Johnson, and in 3 years we're like,
Yeah, that's what I'm knocking at. I just think, and I see what you're saying, and I cannot argue with you on that part because if you're not putting up results, absolutely you should be fired. But I think there's a staggering thing that is wrong with this offense, and that's the offensive line. This guy Shane Waldron had a top 10 offense last year with the Seattle Seahawks. He doesn't have the protection for his young, talented quarterback. So I need to see a good offensive line, then I think I can judge Shane Waldron on what's going on. Even though he has some blunders, some blunders.
Hey Vern, I'm not sure if you heard or not, but over the last, and I don't know for sure, but over the last 2 days, it's actually come out that Matt Eberflus actually had a 5-year deal instead of a 4-year deal. So if that's correct, he actually has 2 more years left on this deal, not 1. That's come out recently. I don't know what it's not like Ryan Poles has come out and clarified it, but that's where that part of the conversation comes from, is that reportedly started off with Adam Rank reporting it and then other places picked it up, is that Matt Eberflus may actually have had a 5-year instead of a 4-year deal, which will leave 2 years left on this deal, just to clarify that. Let's get into this next voicemail. This one's from Keys.
Yo, what's going on? This Keys, man. So I just had a thought after seeing the injury report for the game against the Patriots. We have absolutely no tackles. And we got Larry Borum, who just came back. And then we also got probably have to move Matt Pryor out to right tackle. And it's a battle between Ryan Bates and Nate Davis going at right guard. Here's a thought. Now, Haize, I know you don't mess with former Packers coming to the Bears, but there's a guy that just played for the Packers who was very solid, but I don't think he signed with anyone, and that was David Bakhtiari. He's still a free agent out here, and I think he is way better than anything we got, except for like Donnell Wright. But I know he's had his injury history, but when he's come back, he's been very, very solid. Because right now you throwing Caleb out there and he ain't got no protection really. And the only 2 guys that's really solid for him, really 3, is Matt Pryor, Tevin Jenkins, and Coleman Shelton. And to be honest, is just musical chairs. So in that regard too, when you look at it for the guys we could have traded for, Poles did not do it right for him. But I still get why he probably didn't chase anybody, because maybe the guys he wanted to go after are seen the same way as he got right now, with exception of Darnell Wright. Um, man, it's gonna be a tough game Sunday if we don't get this boy protected, because forget the concept of going downfield. Shoot, are we gonna be able to even move the ball in the short radius of just 2 yards? So let me know what you guys think. Shot town up, bear it down.
No ops. Simple. No, here's the thing that I'll say on this is that David Bakhtiari back in June said that he wants to play another couple of years. Since then, despite being a 5-time All-Pro tackle, nobody has signed him. Nobody has signed him. He tore his ACL in 2020, and I don't think anybody has picked him up yet. So to me, if you're this far into the season with all the help that people have needed on the offensive line, I don't think he's going to come in here and save the Chicago Bears offensive line. What do you think?
I'm with you with that, Haize. Just look at all these offensive linemen out. I think Tevin Jenkins will play though, and Ryan Bates will play, but nah, he ain't gonna help, bro. It's over with. It's a reason he's not playing for the Green Bay Packers anymore. It's a reason nobody else has picked him up, and plus he's an op. No way, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers just paid him $2 million to go away.
What? You? What is you all? You a secret agent? Who? What's my man name? Who on the mailbag?
Who? Which one?
The one we just heard. What's his name? Keys. What is you? What you on a double agent shit? What you mean they paid him to go away and you trying to bring him to the squad?
Yeah, no, we good on that. We good on that. Like, I understand what you're saying. He isn't a former All-Pro tackle and things like this. And at this point in the season, I mean, maybe he could be like a low risk, possible high reward. But at this point, like I said, a 5-time All-Pro and nobody's picked you up, and we're halfway through the season. I don't need you to come in here and experiment with the Chicago Bears. I'm good on that.
We cool, my boy.
We good. All right, let's get to the last voicemail. This one's from Fred.
Yo, Bobby C-Dub, this book, man, blessings to you and yours. And I got to tell you, been a little bit of a conundrum right now. Even though the team is still 4-4, that's 500, which is still better than last year at this time. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if the Bears lose to the Patriots, as bad as that team is, and I know that they have lost to some bad teams already, but the Patriots will be the worst team that they face. I think the Patriots are even worse than the Jaguars and even worse than the Colts. If they lose this game, and I don't care if it's by 20 or if it's by a field goal at the end of the game, if they come off with an L with this game, Eberflus needs to be out of here by Sunday night. I don't care who they put as the interim head coach, because by that time, it's already faded. Ain't nothing they can do about this, man. Because I had faith in Eberflus, man, and it makes me mad, man, to see that this man just ain't the one, man. And I don't know what it is about this organization that keeps picking the same coach over and over again. I truly believe, man, it's that Lovie Smith curse. You fired the man when he was 10-6, even though in that season he did lose a lot on the back end, but he was still 10-6. Ever since then, y'all see the results of what's been happening. But realistically, I do think that the Bears will win this game. I got them winning 24-10. It's going to be a slow first half, but then they're going to pick it up in the second half like they do. I would like to see them score in the first half, but you know how that goes. But that's all I wanted to say, man. I want to see y'all opinions. Shout out to the crew, Steve-O, Big Kev, Haize, all the rest, all the familiars, Marifa, all other people. Chicago up, bear down. Y'all have a good weekend.
C-Dub, I don't know about you, bro. If we lose to the Patriots on Sunday, the level of festivity that's going to be in my spirit, bro. Y'all may not want to show up to the post-game show because the post-game show is probably just going to be me yelling and screaming the obscenities and cursing people out because I'm going to be pissed off. But the question here is, do you think if the Bears lose against the Patriots, is that yet another fireable offense by head coach Matt Eberflus, and should that be the final thing to get his ass up out of here? How you feeling, Doug?
Oh man, that would add on to it, would it? 14-28 as his career coaching win-loss. The decisions he done made, the fourth quarter collapses he's made, and then he lose to the worst team in the NFL. You know what's going to happen? He's going to coach the next game all the way throughout the season. He is not getting fired this season. Y'all can forget about it. It's not going to happen. Maybe at the end of the season, maybe off season, but not during the season. Please don't put the damn book. You should have been a short novel writer because you just put all that gloom and doom. If we lose to the New England Patriots, we going to the pits of hell. We gonna be destroyed. And he said, "Oh yeah, the Bears gonna win 24-10." You were awesome book. But don't worry, y'all. This the Patriots. They trash.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all right now. But let me be clear. This isn't the first time I have not worried, and then the Bears end up getting their ass. So, I mean, there's that aspect of it for sure. It's like I'm not worried, but I've gone into some games before not worried, and then been at the end of it, been like, oh well, hey, I mean, maybe I should have worried a little bit more. Bro, all I'll say is this: like, he's not going to be fired. The Bears aren't going to fire a head coach in the middle of the season, especially when we're hearing rumors and talk about hell. They may not even fire him because he got another year left on his contract than we initially expected. So, here's what I'll say: if it does, let's at the end of the day, I hope that we don't have to worry about this. We're not talking about a loss to the fucking Patriots because we got bigger problems to worry about if that's the case. But if we do lose against the Patriots, if we do, I'm gonna be pissed, but I won't be surprised if they don't fire Matt Eberflus. I just won't be.
Because they not, Drip. Tell them they not, Drip. They're not gonna fire.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not. So, it ain't gonna happen. Y'all can say it. I understand, but it's just not gonna happen, guys. It's not. Yeah, and the Patriots are trying to lose. If we lose to them, bro, oh my God, they're trying to lose, bro.
That's a fact. Maybe Ryan Poles is saying at this point, let's just tank and get a top 10 pick. Let's go ahead and ask him
Oh my God, Ryan. Don't you dare say that, Ryan. What the
Oh man, but we want to thank you guys for joining us, man. Any last thoughts, C-Dub, before we get up out of here, man?
Hey guys, did y'all look at the win-loss record? We're 4-4, guys. We're not fucking 0-6.
We're ahead of where we were this time last season. So,
God, we've calmed down. We got one more warm-up game, and then here it comes, the gauntlet. I need everybody to settle down. I'm gonna take a page from my nephew. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know what that means. Even killed. Be even killed, bro.
Even killed. But by the way, outside of my Bears jacket, just look
at this guy. Where the glasses at? He took the glasses off.
Come on, bro. Come on.
That's cold though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Wait till I go visit Drip, bro. I'm coming out that motherfucker with some duffel bags.
I'm leaving here with something. Yeah. Yes. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys are following the channel at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We out this bitch. Chi-Town up, Bear down. Let's get this dub tomorrow.